Well, hello everybody and welcome back down into my dungeon for a Friday look at what's growing on around down here. Normally today would have been kind of a look at the chilies that are growing outside, but chili is exactly the word to describe today. You'll notice I'm in a hoodie even though I'm in the house. So yeah, I think much to my dismay, I do think August is on its way. Or autumn. It is August. Anyway, I do think fall is coming. I ain't terrible happy about that. I got my inside plants going here anyway. Got a lot of renovations to do in the basement before I get back to a proper dungeon garden situation. But I figured I'd show you what's growing on right now. We're here at the plant shelf, the house plant shelf, where things are doing pretty well. I got that lemon tree kind of just beside my face there. It's not in the best of shape, but you know, best I've ever done with a lemon tree. Got the coffee tree over there, seems to be doing alright, and then the pitcher plant, we'll take a closer look at that here. This pitcher plant has been on the verge of dying for so long, but has finally decided it's somewhere happy. I guess, you know, for some of us, the dungeon is a happy place. We have another pitcher here. It's kind of like that Aquaponic Aji Penec. It's got the 2D thing going on, but its top starting to be a little more identifiable. It's going to separate soon like this one did over here. Try and look down there. I don't see any bugs in there, but I'm not going to mess with it too bad. Hopefully this is catching some of the indoor pests. Little Dieffenbachia is doing its own little thing here. Got that one pitcher kind of forming in the shelf there. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, I've had a few people tell me what the actual scientific name of this plant is. It is something cool. It's much better than a pitcher plant, but unfortunately that's the name I can remember for this. So, that is what I call it. Doing well though. All the way down at the bottom of that shelf we've got the purple light and its associated mint. I should have brought some scissors for that. As you can see, it's a fairly sturdy plant. It's wasn't really intending to get all that, just kind of wanted that. So we'll toss that into the compost bucket for now. Need to go through that and see if there are any worms alive. But Rev, I was telling you, you should be feeding some of your mint to your goldfish at least, because that is one of the things that my goldfish seem to go kind of apey for. And you'll notice there's an awful lot of mint stems in here. Can't speak today. There we've got kind of a good example. This had a whole lot of big fat mint leaves on it when I threw it in here, and it really doesn't anymore. They strip these things down pretty fast as compared to the shard. They'll take a lot longer to work this over, and I've kind of been ripping chunks off of it, cutting it up a lot smaller, like you can see a few of them floating around with some oregano leaves and such at the moment. And once the shard and such gets cut down smaller, the fish tend to work it over within a day or two. It's a natural feed, so they take at it at, I want to say, a more natural pace. But it does seem to be working, and I'm still 21 for 21. I don't have any signs of them going at each other. I haven't found a goldfish that's tried to escape. There are no floaters. And like I say, my oranges are bright orange. Peaches over there, where did Peaches go? Still looking that same beautiful sort of pastel pale. My shadowfish are very, very dark. So the natural foods seems to be working. And the vast majority of it really is mint. Most of it just comes from here. I just grabbed that other piece of mint because we were over there earlier. The basil, now there's quite a few basil leaves floating around in there too. But this particular white or Genovese basil seems to be coming back up at the bottom, and is definitely, you know, there's a lot more leaf growth on there. The leaves are all kind of gibbled from all of the aphids and stuff, and well, basically the really rough go that this plant had while the Aji Penec was still back there. But they both seem to be much healthier plants. We're going to take the top off of this one though. Don't need that flowering. Fish food. Let's see, we got the sage seedling I slipped in here a little while ago. This seems to be doing alright. Not the bushiest sage on the property by any means, but a very nice looking plant all the same. So I'm still hoping that some of those other sage cuttings will develop nice root systems. I can put another one in here. We'll have a pillar of sage on either side of the basil, and I don't know what is going to join the mint along the back there, but it does seem like for my basement aquaponic garden situation, it's going to be the culinary herbs. That's going to be the win here. And if I can get things to be that productive, I mean, heck, that's a win, right? So I'll take it. Come winter time, we go through an amazing amount of mint tea around here, and with the French press and the mate straws and all that stuff, having it growing fresh, it's really nice. You just heat it up, make your infusion, drink it back, feel pretty good about watching all that snowfall outside that you know is gonna be there till like April. So, man, if I can grow mint in the basement and feel better about that, great. Let's take a look at the Darwin table before we wrap up the dungeon garden tour for the day. Speaking of the Darwin table, we can see a lot of these sages seem to be doing quite well. Not the case for the rosemary. I've got a few of them that are still kind of hanging on, but I lost a whole lot of those cuttings. Life goes on. Here's Aji Guyana. Been coming down here every couple of days, shaking its aphids off for the fish. Doing the same with this poor Aji Fantasy. I think I'm going to come down here a little later on, maybe clean up the cup with rubbing alcohol infused cotton swab. Maybe get rid of some of these older leaves. Not looking great. I've started transplanting some of these Astrid peperomias. Got one right here. This little fella's going upstairs today. Got two more I'm planning on doing before too much longer. Having a lot of fun giving those out. And the spider plants, oh yes. These spider plants are doing great. No great surprise there though. My little parsley down here. This is another one. The fish kind of really seem to enjoy the parsley. So I kept that here. And the oregano. Okay. You'd think I'd know to take scissors to that by now. But the oregano, parsley, mint, these are all happy plants for the fish. So yeah, if you've got an aquaponic garden, you've got any of those things growing, feed your garden with stuff from your garden. It's constantly recycling, right? So anyway, yeah, Rev, I'm not just talking trash. I really am feeding it to my fish. Cut some off. Let your goldfish have a go at it. You might just save yourself a couple cents in feed. And that is where we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you guys so much for joining me down here in the dungeon as we take a look at the Darwin table and the house plants and everything going on with my little culinary herb aquaponic garden and the goldfish and all that stuff. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be a little bit warmer so we can go take a look at them chilies outside. And Sunday is, of course, a complete look around at everything, even if I'm doing it from under an umbrella. So, yes, one way or another, I'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll see everything on Sunday.